Hi everybody, this is Pallavi from OurBetterPlanet. It's the time of the year when we all start looking out for options to shop from because this festive season is approaching, and there is a trend to pick up whatever good deals that we come across, or to shop more, and hence we are trying to escalate the practice of introducing more and more sustainable brands here, so that you get more avenues to look out for options that are better for the planet. Today we are talking to Earthy Route, and Gauri Varti is the founder, and Earthy Route is a brand which curates sustainable fashion for men. It's a big gap area for Our Better Planet, as well as in the market also. You hardly get really good eco-friendly wear for men. Hence, the route is a great find, and we'll just connect with Gauri and quickly figure a little bit more about the brand. Give me a second. Gauri, can you?
Hi
Hi,
Pallavi,
hi.
how are
How are
you?
you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. Thanks for taking out the time
No
to join
problem.
us for
It
this
was my
chat today.
pleasure. I honestly wanted to have this conversation with you too, and I'm excited.
Yeah. I was just talking about you guys actually taking care of a big gap area, that is menswear, and like good menswear, which is, you typically really don't have any too many sustainable brands which are in working in the specific segment. So I was just telling everybody that the festive season is coming up, and we kind of sometimes mindfully and sometimes mindlessly go out and shop. So it's a great option to look at what you guys are offering. Just tell us a little bit more about yourself, Gauri, and a little bit about how the brand came around. What's the ethos and how you guys doing?
Sure.
Yeah,
So
around
Pallavi,
that.
thank you so much. Firstly, I wanted to also confirm whether I'm audible, no, properly, because sometimes phone needs
Yes,
earphones
yes.
for the speech to be clear. I have not put earphones as of now. It's all good, right?
It's, it's
Okay,
perfectly
great.
fine. Yes, I can hear you
So,
very well.
thank you for having me here. Firstly, yes, we are a men's slow fashion brand. So, we call ourselves a slow fashion brand more than a sustainable brand, because by ethos we are a slow fashion brand, and I always believe that if you are a slow fashion brand, you are sustainable. But if you are a sustainable brand, you need not be a slow fashion brand. So why I say that, essentially because we don't do too many collections every year. Rather, we just do one or at the most two collections every year, which is why we are slow fashion. And essentially make wardrobe
Hmm.
staples, versatile shirts right now for men, which are on our website for
Hmm.
12 months a year, and they will be available for as long as we can possibly sustain to do this. And the idea behind that is that we are in no way sort of creating an end of season or a urgency, hurry up, stocks till, hurry up, buy till the stocks last. There is no concept as such, and we are here to provide you and help you shop for your wardrobe staples whenever you need them. So that's the main primary intention behind the brand. Having said that, right now we have a good collection of solid shirts for men using sustainable fabrics, because that is the way we want to sort of execute the ethos behind the brand. So the first fabric now that we are working on is a classic blend of linen and a new age fabric called tencel limestone. So we started out
Hmm.
when we started out, we always wanted to find a good alternative to mass manufactured cotton, because cotton, as we know, consumes a lot of water. So we thought that, are there any pieces of clothing which can be a good substitute of cotton in terms of durability, versatility, and also comfort wise, which are not as environmentally harmful as cotton. So which is when we narrowed down on these two fabrics, and I have begun with that. But having said that, we in the pipeline, there are a lot many more sustainable fabrics that we are working on, but the concept behind the brand is always going to
Right.
be to provide very limited styles which your wardrobe absolutely needs and which are going to always feel relevant in your wardrobe. There will be no need to sort of keep changing your clothes, and one piece of clothing can be worn
Yeah.
for multiple occasions by styling them. So
Correct.
that's what we, and to just
Yeah.
throw some light on how did we all begin. How did we begin? It's this idea behind start. It was never to. We never wanted to start a clothing brand. In fact, both me and my co-founder are chartered accountants by education. Have fashion
Wow.
background as such, but
Mm.
I work full time. My co-founder did
Mm.
work on this full time till recently, and we in fact started with just a blog in order to document our earth friendly lifestyle. We had both full time jobs that time, and it started spreading more awareness about
Mm.
how we lead our life and how we consume better. And one thing led to another, and we started getting requests for alternatives to fast fashion, which are not sustainable for the
Okay.
environment but also for the pocket, which is which was the
Mm.
commonality behind all the requests. So that was a trigger behind
Correct.
wanting to launch some alternatives. And yeah, that's what we do, that's what we are.
That's a very unique, story behind leading to a product, right? So, and that too, something which is, I mean, menswear doesn't get the right kind of attention, right? It's always the last discussion, I think, because there's not too much experiment that happens in that segment. And I think I would love to validate the concept when you talk about, classics and things that can be worn in multiple different ways. And like just when the festive season starts approaching, people start looking out for these, things which are apt for the festive season. I really, and this is what something that we spoke about with Swali as well in the last chat. I would really want us brands who call themselves slow or sustainable to really just stop concentrating on this festive madness. We don't want any new collection. We don't want anything which is just made for the festive season, because if we are making something just for one particular time of the year, then it gives a understanding to people that it is supposed to be worn at a particular time in the year, right? And that's not what sustainability is about. I mean, I'm not saying you wear your regular clothes to Diwali, because culturally also, we buy new stuff for Diwali because it's a sign of prosperity, right? And that's how we typically depict prosperity. So by consuming, so which is great. But what I'm trying to say is we don't really have to go out of our way to create something which is just meant for this festive season, right? I mean, we can just say that, let's work with classics. Let's try to style them in ways in which, so that those clothes can be used over and over again throughout the year as well. So that's something I feel a couple of us should start talking a little bit more about. And I don't know if people will really buy it, but we
You will
can
be
try. I
you
mean,
would
like
have heard
just
this
about it.
before, that we use 20% of our wardrobe 80% of the time. And you when you have a tough
Exactly.
day or when you have a long day, what is that one piece of clothing that you remove from your wardrobe is the one that you have used the most. You usually something
Yeah.
brand new or something
Yeah.
uncomfortable from the wardrobe. So why do we invest on the 80% of the wardrobe which we wear only 20% of the times? So rather make your wardrobe
Exactly.
more versatile. Then that whole concept of, I don't have anything to wear also will vanish. Trust me, I have started
Yeah.
leading that kind of a lifestyle. Like whenever I shop, I have my 3 pointers. It needs to take durability first and
Yeah.
foremost. It needs to be durable so that I use it for a very long time. It needs to be ticking comfort. It needs to be ticking versatility,
Hmm.
wherein I feel that at least 3 to 4 occasions I see myself wearing it, and fourth, it suits my
Hmm.
personal style somewhere so that I'll never wear it. So,
Hmm.
which these 4 pointers
Yeah.
are ticked, then essentially you're ensuring that you're increasing the life of the garment, which I won't say is more important or less important, but it is as important as choosing something which is made from sustainable fabric. Uh, I know that natural
Correct.
fabrics or sustainable fabrics is very essential. The waterproof footprint, the carbon footprint, all of these things are essential. But having said that, the mindset behind choosing clothes needs to also be having the same
Mm.
earth friendly lifestyle, the same sustainable mindset. So I think both uh,
Yeah.
hold hands and walk together.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not when we are saying that we are talking about, I mean, sustainability is not about just throwing away whatever you have in terms of which is not made out of sustainable fabrics, right? I mean, that's not the idea. The idea is to use it fully and maybe see that it gets utilized into something else eventually, because no matter how much we use it, it never reaches a state that it should be ending in the landfill, right? So maybe look at ways of addressing it in certain different ways. But yeah, of course not, we are not preaching that you remove everything which is not made out of sustainable fabrics from your wardrobe. What we are just trying to talk about here is that if you are considering to pick up something else, then give it this more attention or required attention, because this is creating
No,
a
no,
certain impact, right?
that
Which
is
is
where
positive.
we couldn't
Yeah.
let go of the main principle of manufacturing it using sustainable resources. That definitely for sure.
Right.
Which is put more brands on
Yeah.
platforms like Our Better Planet, and where these brands in their own way are taking an effort to create something which has a positive impact. So for in terms of a choice,
Right.
we should always be going for something which is better for the planet.
Exactly. Yeah. And there are such amazing platforms nowadays. I mean, when I think about Relove, what they're doing is so nice in terms of creating a second, giving the product a new life. I mean, people are when you see their videos and the reviews, it's really accepted in the market. I mean, it's kudos to the audience also. People are really nowadays accepting it, talking about it also, because normally, pehle, if you wouldn't really talk about it, even if you're wearing something which is second hand. That's not a very proud thing for you to talk about, right? You would be hush hush about it. But I'm so glad that these things are coming, getting such a nice, getting the right attention that they need. So what's next for Earthy Route, Gauri? I mean, are you guys thinking of diversifying into, because a lot of it you've already championed, right? You've championed the fabric, you've kind of championed the classic cuts, and then you have an audience now that are looking out for these products. So are you looking out to expand your range and go into women's, kids, something like that,
So
or what?
the plan is to get into women's wear, sure, but not anytime soon. We are right now, from the point of view of business, also we are trying to first get a hold and have some control over the supply chain and stabilize our men's division, which is after which when we'll definitely be launching women's wear, which is I think easily a year away. So right now the next step in our journey is to launch the next kind of staples. So we have solids as of now. So all solid shirts are we all the shirts that you see on our website essentially in three categories: half sleeves and full sleeves, and a collar variety in full sleeves, which is the Mandarin collar full sleeve. They're all solids. So, and they are all essentially earthy, pastel, and neutral tones. So, the next launch is the
Right.
darker solids. That is the first launch. And we are working with a very brand new sustainable fabric for that purpose. And after which we are
Okay.
going to another set of classic wardrobe classics, which is not solids, which is not printed. I can't divulge too much about it, but it is something that is there in
Hmm.
everybody's wardrobe. These are a set of classics which absolutely there will be nobody who does not have these. So we are working on those as a next step. So that's coming this year for sure. That's the visibility I have for now. A lot more things in the pipeline, but hopefully next year.
Yeah, I see a lot of prints in menswear nowadays. I mean, earlier to be, and at the Max stripes, but now you see a lot of print happening, which is very interesting. Otherwise, menswear is pretty dull and boring. So it's good to see that there's some color being added there. And yeah,
they love their classic solid shirts. So we have so many, like they buy one white shirt from us and then they want two more of the same one. So men are, they are pretty sorted that way because they don't anyway have too many options in terms of what, either shirts or t-shirts, or say max to max they can wear a kurta. So which I think they like the fact that there are color options available, and it helps them to make a better choice.
No, I'm quite like that also. If I like something in and if it fits me well, and if I feel that okay, I can wear it in different with different things, I'll buy 2-3 colors of that as well. So it is so much of the pressure of trying out something else and knowing whether it's fitting you or no. And then I think maturity, after a certain period of time, you get very comfortable. You want to wear something which is not taking too much of your effort, right? The process to choose and evaluate too much. And then there are certain brands also that you resonate with, and that okay, yeah, if I'm going here, then it's I'm sorted. So I think what you're trying to develop is also something like that, a peace of mind when somebody comes to shop with Earthy Route, that okay, yeah, I've already picked something from them, it has worked for me, so let me just go back and try it out again. Yeah, which is
clothes
a great
nowadays
way.
are said to cause a lot of stress in people's minds as to what do I wear, this event is coming, this is the dress code. So we are trying to help you simplify the whole thing as to clothes should be the last, I won't say the last thing, but wear something comfortable, wear something which is your style, and then most of the other things get sorted on its own. And if we have more people thinking like you in the future, and we hope that we women's wear sooner than we would want to.
You speaking a little bit now. I mean, a little more than usual.
Is it better?
Yeah. No, not really. It's becoming hazy, and you're breaking also. The voice is breaking now.
I think there's...
No, you've been in the same place. Yeah. Yeah, it's become a little hazy. I can't really
because I have full network.
Sure. Yeah, I think others cannot hear you as well very clearly.
Is it better?
Yeah, let's continue and see how it... yeah,
I think my Wi-Fi has given up. I've switched on my data now. I think that this should be solving the problem.
Yeah. It was hazy for a little bit, but I thought it'll correct. It wasn't. Yeah.
Okay, no worries.
So Gauri, I mean, the Earthy Route is based out of Bangalore.
Sorry, I think I couldn't hear you.
I'm saying Earthy Route is based out of Bangalore.
Mumbai. We are we have a small setup here only in the other in Mumbai. Yes.
Okay. I know that you guys are in Bangalore.
I wish to visit Bangalore. I thought whenever I visit Bangalore, I'll see you also in person.
Yes, we discussed it when we were speaking as well. So we'll definitely catch up when you're around. And just tell me a little bit about what are the sales channels for you guys, apart from, I mean, I just want to let everybody know that we have Earthy Route on OurBetterPlanet now, and we have all your shirts, and people can go and have a look at it. But what are your other sales channels? I mean, I ask it for other brands also who want to know how to, sell their sustainable wares online. So just tell us a little bit about it.
On our own website, yes. Then we are at some sustainable only marketplaces like OurBetterPlanet. That is in terms online footprint.
Right.
We were there on a bigger market for a bit, but right now we are not actively involved doing, like, we are not active there right now. This is in terms of the online footprint. In terms of offline, we are in close to 7 stores in all over India, in major cities like Bangalore, Goa, Jaipur. We are in Kochi, also in Pune, one store in Mumbai. So essentially, we are housed in these stores, and we get a small shelf space or a display space wherein these stores are typically house different brands like us, and that's our offline model.
Right.
So these shirts actually need to be felt. I sometimes wish I can help people,
Yeah.
see the fabric, which is why we sometimes call, if somebody has a doubt, we always tell them that you can come down to our office, see the fabric, try out the size, and then buy. Because when they feel the fabric, it's a different
Right.
experience rather than just seeing it online. But we
Of
try
course,
our
yeah.
best to show close-ups. We create some fabric videos for people to understand what exactly how the fabric feels. So right now it's sort of an omni-channel approach, uh, with a bit of an offline as well as an
Right.
online presence.
Okay. Okay. Great. I mean, I think that's the way to go for everybody right now, right? Just being online is not going to be possible for brands like yours, because people are always keen to touch, feel, and know a little bit more. And the conversations also are very very nice to have. When you talk to people and then you relate to the product more, because everybody wants to hear a story nowadays. So it's kind of to be available
Quite a
on
lot of
these stores, and
sorry, so
we
I think
we
you got done here. Sorry, did I interrupt you? No, yeah.
you were talking
Initial
about
days in the
pop-ups,
first
yeah.
year of, now we are like few months over 1 year, so we've recently cut down on the pop-ups that we do. But initially, a lot of pop-ups where we
Right.
ourselves used to be present to understand customer feedback. We used to understand a lot about how they find the pricing, about what is their expression when they see the fabric, the product, what is they want, what feed.
Right.
It is extremely useful pop-ups. So but online sort of helps people who have limited inventory in the initial days, at least. So if you are to go to an model, then you need to have a bit more control over inventory, at least have enough number of pieces.
Right.
Because what happens is, unless you're making something which is size inclusive or customizable, then that's a different story. But if you're making, you need to have 5 sizes
Yeah.
of each product like how we have, then essentially important to have at least
Mm-hmm.
one piece of each size stocked up in that store, because you don't know who's
Right.
walking. And if that
Correct.
person does not find his size, then that sort of creates, same goes for online also, for that matter. There are dropouts, but it's still, you can manage things better online when the inventory is a bit of a challenge. But that's, I mean, we did not go offline in the first 6 months, at least. From the 7th onwards, we started
Right.
venture offline model as well.
Right. And tell me this, how does it go down with people when you tell them that, we'll take custom
Yeah.
orders? Because when you talk about slow fashion, then everything around it is associatively slow, right? I mean, comparatively slow to other products. So does it go well with people when you tell them that we'll kind of come back to you or
No,
take a custom order, whatever?
I
No,
mean, how
not
much ever
really.
I would like it to work, but it does not. But in my case, we don't have a custom made model anyway. So I can't really tell that I'll customize with for you, because I don't have an in-house unit. For me, everything is outsourced, so I have lesser control over customizations. Maybe a few things.
Oh my God. I meant like taking an order, and then like how you're saying, you need to have if you're going to a pop-up and if you have to take 100 pieces with you, and if you come back with 50, that is a lot of money involved over there, right? And then you're sitting on that 50. Of course, you're selling through other places, but then this is additional inventory that you're kind of sitting on. So rather than that, if we go with like maybe say couple of pieces of everything, and we tell people that okay, place an order. So that's what I wanted to know, because a lot of so when we curate our markets, I mean at Conscious Soup, a lot of people ask me that how well will it go down with people, because we know our clientele, right? And I kind of want to collect data on this, that how does it really go down
I
with
haven't
people? Does it?
where
So
very few
yeah,
people, if they have been our past customers, then they wait for 15 days also. Then that, see,
yeah,
customers today need to have a lot of trust in the brand, in a new brand. And one way establishing
yeah,
a trust is to they get the product immediately when they pay. That is, and if so that
certificate.
is one way. Second way, that is why there is a lot of payment methods that need, you have to give, which as a brand sometimes becomes cumbersome, like cash on delivery, for example. For a smaller brand, we need to have on our website because the trust
Yeah,
is something that we are looking to have. So there are these things that you need to do to for customer acquisition, I would say. But once the customer trusts, that there have been cases in our case where the first order is COD and then all orders after that have been prepaid. So it's just that is in case of COD. But in terms of, I'll write down your name and we'll get the shirt delivered to you. Very few times people say that okay, this is fine, but they tell us that okay, no worries, we'll buy another color. Because in my case, what really happens is there is a same shirt of another color which they might like. So that, but maybe somebody who is doing something so unique that customers won't, then I think that
yeah,
would be a fair, there would be a fair chance for somebody to say okay, I want this particular thing, I want to support this craft, say for example, then I'm ready to. So that is
correct.
one option. In my
Right,
case, it does not happen too often.
right, right, right. No, but I think life would become simple if people would get a little bit more, patient with how they. But I think we have also spoiled them for choice a little bit. I mean, with the Amazon quick deliveries, and then you buy today and tomorrow it's at your doorstep. All that has kind of,
People always give us a
made you very.
comparison. Once somebody told me that मैडम Amazon का 2 दिन में आ जाता है, आपका इतना टाइम क्यों लग रहा है? I said, but मैं नहीं हूँ. That is the reason I am not Amazon. So it is
Yeah. No, we hear it all the time. I mean, we don't accept CODs. We don't do COD. We don't accept returns unless and until there's a problem with the product. Then our deliveries are our deliveries. I mean, I will let my brand make it in their own time, and then we will deliver it. We take additional time over the production time. So people typically come and ask us that, hello, what generation are you guys in? And I'm like, this is the generation that we are trying to work with. I really don't want to push anybody to produce at a pace at jab unko bhi, you are restless, you creating confusion for other people also over there. But those are ethos that I feel we are actually living in a different world, which is cut out from everywhere else. But it's
not
not easy to
sustainable
develop that kind
sometimes,
of.
is not sustainable business in today's
Yeah,
world. So you have to find the sort of a right balance wherein you try to marry and keep your principles intact and give the customer also what he wants. So it's like a tough battle that we are also trying to strike every single day, which is why we are in low production but fast deliveries. So that is where we trying to strike that balance.
no, I mean, I understand the kind of effort that goes into it. So I really appreciate what you're trying to do. But somewhere we need to all of us need to just calm down about things, because it is going
Okay.
at a little berserk pace right now. Having said that, it's like you said, everybody tells me customer is the king. And I mean, I've started now kind of believing in it myself. I mean, of course, customer is our priority, but then I feel that in the kind of place where we are, the kind of products that we are working with, there is a lot of education that needs to happen as well, right? And that education is not only about the product, but about the entire thought process of being able to order or work with such a product, right? You need to be respecting the craft, the artisanship, the fabric, or whatever. If that respect is not there, then I don't think it's you are in it for the long. And I just appreciate what you're doing, because I think towards
No, in
creating
fact,
that,
like for the
and
longest
it's
time we did not accept refunds, or we tried to convince our customers that why don't you go for an exchange. We did that till all
right.
the return requests that we usually get, we we try to convert at least 85 to 90% of the people to exchange, and which is what I feel, talking to them nicely, like telling them that, wrong, I'll try to help you, having a human sort of an intervention in this whole process. And
Yeah.
then the customers do understand. Like, I have had case studies where I've been able to tell them that, if you like, I'll give you an exchange, if it works for you, well and good.
Yeah.
But sometimes they are so hell-bent and they just absolutely don't value it. Then I feel that it's better that I take it back.
Yeah.
I don't want my product to be with somebody who is not appreciating it or who does not value. Then I'm fine with the costs associated to bring it back to me. So it is,
Yeah.
but
No.
I'm super happy for
Yeah.
our Better Planet to take this stand. And I mean, if I had it with me, I would have taken the stand too, for sure. But yeah, hopefully.
No, I'm sure. Yeah, I think people are also changing. People are getting a little bit more calmer, and it will happen. It's a slow process, like we all know. But I think a lot of things can happen collectively, and that's the reason for these conversations and these, these associations or whatever. We want to do a lot of work together, so that, because when three or four of us are talking about the same process, then I think people will trust and believe it a little bit more than just us going and talking talking to everybody also. It just doesn't matter. So I think that cumulative effect is always appreciated. And I thanks so much for spending so much time with us and this conversation up. We are really so glad to have your products on the platform, and I just hope that we have a great working relationship moving
Very
forward
happy to
from
be
here.
onboarded on our Better Planet, and I see a lot of beautiful other brands. And I see it also has been done
Yes.
very, very thoughtfully. So kudos to you and the entire team for that, and we're very glad that we are a part of it now.
Yeah, yeah. I really hope we get to meet very
For
soon
sure.
and do a lot of stuff together. So I thank
See
you
you.
so much.
Thanks,
See
Pallavi.
you.
Thank you for your time.
Bye.
Thank you.